Right, good morning everyone, and good morning to the Postman. Thank you very much for sort of dropping off all my mail so I can carry on with the rest of the work. Now first thing first is I've already opened this actually. It's a Loctite multi-core solder wick. Now this originally was the one I purchased was 0.8 mil by 30 meter in length. Strangely enough, the guy has actually sent me 2.2 mil times 30 meter, which is absolutely cracking because this would have costed me a lot more. Now, thank you very much for doing that. And just so that I'm not telling you porcupines, here's the proof. Right, so I picked it up for a silly price, very cheap, and the picture sort of shows 0.8 millimeters times 30 meter in length. So thank you for sending me this. Next up is an LVDS connector for an Acer V5-531, which is a new cable. There's the display. There's an issue with the display, so I came to a conclusion the fact that it's the LVDS cable that is actually faulty. So that this needs replacing. Just be careful when you're buying these sort of stuffs, whether sites as such as eBay. Just don't type the V5-531 because I was fool enough to pay near 3-4 times the price. Some of them are asking for second-hand parts as much as £10, whereas this is a brand new cable. And what I have to do is there's a part number here written on it, so always try and sort of search through the part number that's all written on the original part, if there is one attached to it. And this was 53.4V M06.001, and I picked this up for cheap money, less than, I think it was about £4, something like that. Next up is NVIDIA chipset, part number, and this is actually for a repair for a friend of mine, a Dell XPS 1530, which is an old laptop, but there is a bit of a sentimental value to it, which is why he wants me to have it repaired for him. And the part number for this is G86-730-A2. So and the revision 2010 revision chip itself, which is a graphic chip, so that'll get replaced, and I should be doing that this weekend. So hopefully there'll be a video upload of this, a full process from start till finish. Yes, not hopefully, there will be a video upload on that actually. Yes, GPU rework and reballing and reflow is bullshit, but GPU replacement, I don't class that as a bullshit work actually. There is a bit of a profit to be made, and quite particularly I want to carry on using those rework machines. I've got a Hunton R392, a hot air rework station, and a Jovi 8500, which is a dark infrared rework station, and I thoroughly enjoy using those machines actually. I prefer, out of the two, I prefer the Jovi 8500. It's a beefy machine that actually you can run a reflow, reball, rework attempt on any size PCB, any size. I mean, I don't mean huge, massive, but any PC motherboard or a laptop motherboard or console, without any sort of an issue. Next up, we have a hinge. This is a right hand hinge for a HP Pavilion 15-AC. Now these hinges, wow, they're expensive actually to buy, even off eBay and things like that. But whereas if you try and buy them off from China or something like this, they were retailing for ridiculously cheap money for the full set, for the full pair. I think it was in the region of about £4, whereas just this single right hand hinge cost me near £10. So that's that. Okay, and then this, I believe, is batteries. Let's have a look. Yes, it is correct. Wow, replacement batteries, not the original, because the original are quite expensive. I ordered 2 same batteries, so let's find out. This was hand delivered. Obviously it won't go through the letterbox. I've had batteries delivered through letterbox where it's had a huge impact, and either the casing has cracked, not sort of destroyed the battery. It could have, but it's damaged the outer casing, which is not a very good thing. Yeah, it's a 9-cell battery, which is why what you see is a bit of a hump at the back. This is the extended part of the battery cell. So that's that, and I'm not going to undo the other one because it's an identical battery. And this is actually for HP Presario's CQ62. So I've got 2 of them lying around, which is why I needed 2 batteries. And the thing is, doing what I do, there's like a bit of an obsession buying stuff and leaving. I mean, for example, referring back to this older wick. These, I mean, you slap me on my wrist if you find out the amount of solder wick I have, and I still carry on buying stuff. It's unbelievable, and I'll give you an idea, just a little idea as to what we're up against. Let me see if I can get them out. Yep, but keep on coming. 2 that I'm using, and yep, you've guessed it. Okay, solder wick from RS. I probably think this is about 10 meter if I'm not mistaken. Same here as well, they're identical. Gut wick, there is original gut wick. This is used, so we'll put them back. And then on top of all that, I've got a full pack here, sealed. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, keep it dry, made in Japan. So not the shitty stuff you would buy on eBay. So when I have all this, including them 2 that I'm using, which I've literally just opened, do I still need this? No, not necessarily, but it's one of those things I don't know why I do that, but I just do it. So anyway, going back into the original post, thank you very much, Postman, for dropping all these off. You made my day, so I can carry on with the rest of the work for the weekend and make some money. I have a lot more stuff, believe me. You do not want to go through all the drawers and everything that I have in the room here. Absolutely, especially like solder wires, leaded solder wires. I mean, I've got a stand here. Let's see if I can get this out. Yeah. Got a stand here. You're probably wondering what the hell is this stand is a Weller's SD-1000. Okay, now here I have alpha leaded solder. I'm trying to think of the let me just see if I can see. It's SN, I think it's SN 63 by 37 if I'm not mistaken, which is a type of a solder wire where the it stays liquid for a few seconds even after moving the solder iron or soldered iron tip from the surface where you're soldering. So it's more sort of elasticity, whatever it is, that the proper word for it. I can't remember at the time, right at this moment in time. But this is what it's used, what I use actually. This is a multi-core SN62 0.32 mil, which is a slightly thinner wire, whereas this is originally I think this is 0.7 mil, and then on the top is a very fine wire, which is 0.1 mil. And you're probably wondering, why do I have all this? I use them on different applications. You know, if I'm doing a very small chip replacement, or a very tiny soldering connection or whatever it is, I would use this because it makes life a lot easier. So as you can understand, the variations of the sizes does sort of help me in soldering different types of components and things like that. Basically that's that. But there's a bad habit. I don't know whether if it's a habit or it's just a hobby or whatever it is you want to call it, but I tend to buy things that I like, but at the same time sometimes things can be bought unnecessarily. You know, you don't need it, but you still buy it, sort of a thing. So what do you do? Anyway, that's all for this morning. Thank you, and have a good weekend.